everyone, here we are getting ready to go into Center Stage Studios, a performing arts center here in Lloydminster. I'm so excited. I love the performing arts.
This is up Bridget's alley.
It's right up my alley and I'm excited. So let's go check it out. Awesome. So we can just start with your name and you can tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, so my name is Kathryn Edwards. I'm born and raised in Lloydminster, went away to school and then came back and did some other music directing and vocal coaching prior to opening Center Stage Studios. But yeah, here I am with our own studio.
And so what got you into the theater aspect of Center Stage?
So growing up, I've always loved doing theater, musical theater, obviously singing as well. That's where my main background is. I do have a Bachelor of Music, but I always kind of got brought back to the theater side of it because I love the storytelling. I love the characterization and, just being able to kind of dive into that and to give it, just a more in-depth perspective.
So you started as a performer and then got into direction, or how did that work?
Yeah. So like I said, my background is a Bachelor of Music. I do enjoy doing like the musical theater side of it. And when I moved back to Lloyd, the opportunity came up to direct a show. And it was quite a challenge at first because that wasn't really in my wheelhouse at the time. And so I really kind of hit the ground running when I was trying to figure out what to do and how to do this. And I just found that I loved doing it. And I just love, being able to work with the kids and to watch them grow and develop and see them shine on stage and, give them those opportunities that I didn't necessarily get here in the community growing up.
And here they have those opportunities at Center Stage Studios. Can you speak about what this is?
Yeah, so Center Stage Studios is our primary, it's a performing arts studio. So we offer voice lessons, we offer musical theater classes, we offer theater classes as well. Primarily it's geared towards school age kids, so kindergarten to grade 12. We did start an adult musical theater class this year because there was the demand for it. So yeah, so that was really fun. And we just keep on trying to figure out what we can offer programming for the kids in this area that's just performing arts based.
And what would people expect when registering for one of your classes?
What they would expect, I think, is there's a lot of passion that goes into our programming. So our biggest, I guess you could say, mandate or what we really try to provide here is, offering the same kind of instruction and that same kind of education that these kids might get in a bigger center. So, you don't often see a performing arts studio like this in a smaller center. When you go somewhere like, like the bigger centers like Saskatoon, Edmonton, Calgary, those places, you're going to see more of that kind of those opportunities to perform. And so it just gives these kids a chance to, kind of get some of that semi-professional instruction and training that they would get, that they might not get here, but get in a bigger center.
And why do you think it's important to have a space like this in Lloydminster?
Oh, how much time do you have? Honestly, it's, performing arts it's not just a niche. It's really something that, it teaches kids empathy, humanity, self-discovery, it teaches them confidence. We have kids that don't necessarily always go on and pursue this kind of, this area as a career, but there's tools that they've been given. So, it gives them that confidence if they're, public speaking or something like that. I actually have a former student that's our heart surgeon, and she, it's crazy. So, but there's these skills that they take with them, and we do have, kids that have gone on and have had professional careers as well. So it's just been really rewarding to be able to give kids those tools and that experience that, you can do sports and that kind of thing, and there's definitely value in that as well. But I think it's really important to recognize and value the performing arts as well.
And so when did you realize, because you had the background in theater, right? And coming into that business aspect of a studio, when did you realize that you wanted to take that love of theater and kind of turn it into that business aspect?
Yeah, so really it's kind of always been a dream of mine. It's, you know, it's really rewarding when you can have sort of that complete creative control. That's also the scary side of it as well. I'm not a business person by nature. I'm a very right brain person. So that side of it is definitely where I'm most comfortable. But really actually what brought it on was COVID. So my former job where I was working, I was the director of the musical theater program there. And COVID hit, and so, you know, there was a lot of, you know, as like people like to say, pivoting that happened. And so it really, I guess, gave me the opportunity to kind of sit back and reevaluate what I wanted to do and how I wanted to bring this program to the community and what we could do to really just help it be its best and help these kids shine the best that they could. So that's really what brought it on, and a really healthy dose of encouragement from my husband. He was like, you can do this. So, you know, that's, I think, what really kind of helped, not really, it definitely helped me to, you know, to take that leap myself. So, yeah.
And now you've done it and will continue to do
yes, it. Yes. It's, you know, it's one of those things that, like I said, the business side, you keep building and growing, and, you know, these kids are building and growing, and so am I. Like, it's, you know, it's a really cool, just culmination of everyone coming together and growing and learning together.
And then last question, not specific to the studio or musical theater, but what would you say is the best piece of advice you've received throughout your life?
Oh gosh, the best piece of advice. I think you know, it sounds really cliche to say, but you know, I've got this sign up in my office that says, she believed she could, and so she did. And I keep that up there because it's one of those things that I just always think, you know, have faith in yourself and trust that you can do the hard things, and you know, you're going to stumble. You know, it's like an arrow. You stumble, but then it propels you forward. So just to always keep going, and just to really just be like true to yourself and who you are and what your goals are. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Okay, so you can start with your name and then just tell us about yourself.
My name is Sophie Henderson. I'm 13 years old. I'm in grade 8, and yeah.
And what made you want to get into theater?
I always saw people like performing on stage, and I was always like, I really want to do that. And so when I found out I could, I was like, this would be really cool to be a part of. And so, yeah.
Do you have a dream role?
I think something from Into the Woods would be really fun to do, or like Sophie from Mamma Mia.
That's such a good one. What show are you currently working on, and what is your role?
We're currently working on Cinderella, and I'm just like a townsperson, a cheese steward, like a maiden and stuff, yeah.
And is this your first show?
This will be my 4th show, yes.
What have your other shows been?
I was in Frozen, Matilda, and Finding Nemo.
Oh, so fun.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite?
I think probably Frozen or Nemo, because I had like bigger parts in them. So yeah, it was fun.
What would you say is the most challenging part of theater?
I think just like knowing that, like, even if you have a smaller part, everyone's like has their part in the show, and just like understanding that we're all worth something, like a part of it in the show, I guess. Yeah.
How do you get into character?
Usually I sit in front of my mirror and I just like talk to myself in that character, and it like helps me embody them more. Yeah.
What is your favorite thing about Center Stage Studios?
I like how welcoming everyone is, and just like how much work we all put in to make the show just as amazing as it can be.
And what is the best piece of advice you've received throughout your life?
Just like, don't give up and learn from your mistakes. Like, everyone's human, so just keep going.
Perfect. Awesome. So we can just start with your name, and you can tell us a bit about yourself.
My name is Ruby Hickman. I'm 15 years old, in grade 9, and yeah, I do lots of musical theater and stuff, and some sports, and like to keep myself busy.
What made you want to get into theater?
Well, when I've been doing music festival ever since I was in kindergarten, and my sister, who is 4 years older than me, also did a lot of music, so that kind of probably inspired it a bit. And then when Center Stage Studios did The Little Mermaid, I came with my mom and sisters to watch, and then I just like fell in love and was like, yes, this is what I want to do.
What would you say is the most challenging part of theater?
I would say like keeping healthy 24/7 is really challenging because like you can't really sing without staying healthy. But also like I don't think some people realize the work that actually goes into like these shows and the work you have to do outside of rehearsal as well, not just in rehearsal, because you have to keep your voice in shape, stuff like that, and just like, yeah, really working on stuff to get into character and like the mindset of everything.
And what would you say is the most rewarding part of theater?
I would say probably like when people compliment our shows and are just kind of amazed and surprised at how good they actually are.
And lastly, what would you say is the best piece of advice you've received throughout your life?
I would say like just to be yourself on stage and to really like embody the character that you are. And like something that me and my vocal teacher have worked on a lot, and same with like musical theater teacher, is to not make the character you, but to make the character like its own thing, kind of. I don't know how to explain it exactly, but yeah.
I get it.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So we can just start with your name and you can tell us a bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Bryn, and I am 11 years old, and I'm in grade 6.
Awesome. What made you want to get into theater?
I've been like doing dance for like a long time, and I just like love to dance, love to sing, and I love to act. So I just thought, oh, why don't I just join this, and it would be fun.
Do you have a dream role?
Basically anything that's like from like an intense musical, I guess. So like something like Into the Woods, probably. Yeah.
What show are you currently working on and what is your role?
We are working on Cinderella, and I'm like an ensemble, but like I also am a maiden.
What is your favorite thing about Center Stage Studios?
Probably that I get to meet a lot of new friends, and I get to just have fun with like everybody, and it's just a really great time.
Awesome. Then last question, what would you say is the best piece of advice you've received throughout your life?
Probably don't give up, and if you make mistakes, just try again.
Perfect. Thank you. All right, so you can just start with your name and tell us a bit about yourself.
My name is Addison Elliott. I'm 14 years old and I'm in grade 8.
And what made you want to get into theater?
When I was a little girl, I used to like dance a lot. So as soon as I was old enough to join theater, my mom put me into it. Yeah.
Do you have a dream role?
It's probably a long shot, but my dream role is Elizabeth Schuyler from Hamilton.
That would be so much fun.
Yeah.
Definitely not a long shot. Manifest it for yourself.
Thank you.
What would you say is the most challenging part of theater?
Probably the mindset. Usually you think people are doing better than you, but you're just as good as everybody else, no matter what level. Yeah.
And what would you say is the most rewarding part of theater?
Probably getting to the stage where you get to perform in front of everybody and you get to hear all the applause and knowing that you did a good job on it.
How do you get into character?
I like to look in the mirror and just practice my lines and trying to figure out which is the right way to say them.
What would you say is your favorite thing about Center Stage Studios?
Probably all the friends I've made and all the amazing work that goes around here. Everybody's so hardworking and just so dedicated to what we do here.
And then last question, what is the best piece of advice you've received throughout your life?
Probably, it's from my mom. She used to say to me that just because other people's successes are good, it doesn't mean yours are any less than great.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we'll start with your name and you can tell us a bit about yourself.
Hi, I'm Kaden Strachuk. I am 12 years old and I'm in grade 7.
And what made you want to get into theater?
So I've always, ever since I was really young, I've always loved like music and dancing and acting, and there's videos of me like singing around the house and stuff like that. And I started out with like voice training and like stuff like that, and then I figured out that theater was a thing, and I joined as soon as I could.
Do you have a dream role?
I have quite a few, but I'd say basically anything from Shrek or Into the Woods, because I love the roles there. And also maybe like Lydia from Beetlejuice. That's kind of like a different, but it's like a really moving character. I don't know.
Yeah,
but yeah.
I agree. What would you say is the most challenging part of theater?
There's a few like hard things about theater, but I'd say the hardest is narrowing down what role you want to play, because there's so many different characters you can portray, and I would say that's probably the hardest for me.
And on the flip side, what would you say is the most rewarding part of theater?
Probably at the end of a show when all your friends go celebrate at like Dairy Queen, or like go celebrate all the hard work that you put into it, and it's just so like, it's such a good feeling.
How do you like to get into character?
I like to just imagine myself as the character I'm playing. So if I'm in Cinderella and I'm supposed to be a townsperson, I'm kind of proper and, you know, like very olden days in a way.
What is your favorite thing about Center Stage Studios?
I love like the community here. Everyone you meet is just so nice, and they all are not afraid to like show who they are, and I think it's so good to be introduced to that type of thing at a young age.
What is the best piece of advice you've received throughout your life?
Well, I played Dory in like this year, and I'd say probably just keep swimming.
I love that. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So we'll just start with your name, and you can tell us a bit about yourself.
I'm Lola, and I'm 12 years old, and I'm in 7th grade.
And what made you want to get into theater?
Well, my sister started, and I just thought it was really cool how she got to perform on stage, so then I just wanted to join.
Do you have a dream role?
Probably like any role from Mean Girls.
How do you like to get into character?
I like to like research about the character and like watch the movies and like watch other people have like performed the role. Yeah.
And what is your favorite thing about Center Stage Studios?
Like having fun with my friends and like all the people working hard and like trying their best to like make everything perfect.
Lastly, what would you say is the best piece of advice you've received throughout your life?
Just like to be yourself, and people will like you like the way you are.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So I guess I'll stand here in front of you guys, right? So you guys like get to show her what to do. So we'll have you guys in one straight line. Good. And then we're going to do our, like, the prince is giving a ball. So you guys do right first, correct? Yes, it goes this way first? No, you go left. Okay, because I always mirror you guys, so that's why. So what we do is we have this is what's going to be our invitation for the ball. And so we want to make sure we hold it out. These are obviously not what we're using for the show. We're using, we have like invite props that we just don't want them to get wrecked yet. So because it happens, props get wrecked and then we have to repair them all the time during the show. And
I wouldn't trust me with it either, no judgment.
So what you're going to do is, I guess we'll do the feet first. So it's a step and then it's going to be a hop. So you kind of kick this back leg up. And what you're going to do with your arm is you bring it up like so, and you want to show off the invitation. So it's going to go step, hop, and then we're going to do a chaîné. So we're going to bring our program, or our invitation, in front. And so a chaîné is, so we start with our right foot. So it's step, and then we turn, and then we step at the end. That's right. So let's try that. Let's put that together. So again, we're going to go step, hop, chaîné, and then it's another step hop. No, is it? Yeah. Oh yeah, I have to think of it slow in my brain now. Yes, okay. So then we do it the other way. So then we do a step hop, so it's gonna go step, hop, and I should mention that the other arm goes like, so it's like making a diagonal line. Yeah, so it's gonna go step, hop, and then chaîné. Oh, no, we don't. You're right. I keep wanting to do this. So it's a step hop, and then we just slowly bring the program, the invite down. So it's going to go step, hop, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Good, so let's try that again. So we'll put all of that together. Let me know if you need me to like repeat it again. So again, we're gonna go, so I guess our timing goes, the prince is giving a ball. So I'll kind of, actually I'll do the, I'll count it. So here we go, 5, 6, 7, 8. Step, hop, chaîné, step, hop, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Waterfall. 1, 2, 3. Other way. 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. So you got it. So we'll try it a little bit faster now. Okay, so here we go. So 5, I just need to have a moment of where we're going. Okay, push turns. 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Waterfall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good, killed it.
How can they be so tired looking at all those beautiful things and buying so many of them? I was too excited to be tired. Oh, how I love this room when they've all gone out and there's nobody here but me. I'm as mild and as meek as a mouse. When I hear a command, I obey. But I know of a spot in my house where no one can stand in my way. In my own little corner, in my own little chair, I can be whatever I want to be. On the wing of my fancy, I can fly anywhere, and the world will open its arms to me. I'm a young Norwegian princess or a milkmaid. I'm the greatest prima donna in Milan. I'm an heiress who has always had her silk made by her own flock of silkworms in Japan. I'm a girl, men go mad for love's a game I can play with a cool and confident kind of air. Just as long as I stay in my own little corner, all alone in my own little chair. I can be whatever I want to be. I'm a slave in Calcutta, I'm a queen in Peru, I'm a mermaid dancing upon the sea. I'm a huntress on an African safari. It's a dangerous type of sport and yet it's fun. In the night I sally forth to seek my quarry, and I find I forgot to bring my gun. I am lost in the jungle all alone and unarmed when I meet a lioness in her lair. Then I'm glad to be back in my own little corner, all alone in my own little chair.
The prince is giving a ball. The prince is giving a ball. The prince is giving a ball. His Royal Highness Christopher Rupert, Windermere, Vladimir, Carl Alexander, Francois Reginald, Lancelot Herman.
Herman?
Herman. Gregory James is giving a ball. The prince is giving a ball. The prince is giving a ball.
Our daughter's looking dreamy-eyed. The prince is giving a ball. They say he wants her body to ride. He may find the ball. I wish that he proposed to me. I pray that he'll propose to me. I shouldn't be proposed.
The prince is giving a ball. The prince is giving a ball. His Royal Highness Christopher Rupert, son of Her Majesty King Maximilian, Godfrey Ladislaus Leopold Sidney is giving a ball. The prince is giving a ball. The prince is giving a ball.
I wish the time were nice and neat.
The prince is giving a ball. The prince is giving a ball. His Royal Highness Christopher Rupert, son of His Majesty King Maximilian, Godfrey Ladislaus Leopold Sidney. Sidney. Frederick John is giving a ball. The prince 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 is giving a ball.
Hi everyone, so we just finished up at Center Stage Studio and my breath was taken away? Yeah, that's the saying, right?
Yeah.
That sounds wrong.
It does, but I think you're right.
Okay. Anyway, what I'm trying to
I
say,
think it's like you usually you took my breath away.
yeah, my breath was taken away.
Your breath was taken away.
It was.
In a good way.
In the best way possible. They're amazing. They're so talented. And like the little mice, I almost started crying. They were so cute.
I loved how enthusiastic and into the arts they all were. I didn't realize the turnout. I was talking to some of the parents, and one of them was saying how the turnout for even their last one with Finding Nemo was almost 88 kids, which is crazy because I'm like, that's so many. How I didn't realize there was that many kids here.
How do you control that many children? Jesus.
But the way that they're all so invested in this and stuff, it just goes to show how important the arts are to the community and to communities in general, just because they love this. The kids, their grandparents, their parents love this production and love watching them. And the amount of girls that we had interviewed and said, oh yeah, my sister was doing it, so I wanted to do it. It looked like so much fun. It looked like just something that they meet their friends through, and they're able to, like, I guess, interact and stuff all the time. It's just so important and so great. So it was very cute to see all of that. Also, sorry, I'm keep on rambling,
No
but
apology necessary.
their props, insane.
So
They're like the volunteers
So
that they have making the costumes and the individual things and stuff. Our high school would never could.
No.
Like, I wish I was able to do that, but like genuinely everything just looks so well put together, and just the amount of love everybody has to putting this show together for those kids and to be watching it after is just, it's so cute to see.
And I want to add on to that too, of like the props and the costumes and the kids and all the people behind the scenes. Like, theater is, I love theater, but it's such a team effort, and I don't think people realize that. Even like film and TV, like the arts are so team oriented, and you cannot do it alone. Like, any of the footage that you saw, like, we had single interviews with people, but those productions, like that rehearsal of all of them sharing space together, like everyone has to be on and everyone's working for like the same common goal of like a successful show. And it's just heartwarming. I literally love to see how it was already said, how enthusiastic and how excited they were to put on this show. And the talent is crazy. Like, I'm sorry, they're like school-age children, and I'm like, wow, you could sing circles around so many people who are like far older than you, and age isn't like a dictator of like how good you are at things, but like, you know, you're older, more experienced and whatnot, but they are so talented and so passionate and so kind. And Kathryn, the owner, she was so kind just for letting us into her space, because like they are opening on Friday. So this is gonna air later than that, but that's like a week before opening, and to be like, yeah, I would love to have you in to like showcase the kids, but also like they're on such a tight schedule, and they were still willing to have us in and interrupt their rehearsal. We tried to stay to the sides as much as we could, but just to hear them talk about why they love theater and the conversations we got to have off camera, I'm so grateful for all of them. And just the experience, it brought me back to my musical theater days, and I was like singing along to these songs as they were being performed. Probably so annoying. I saw some of the kids like, and I was like, I know, sorry, I'm weird, I didn't mean to. I was just singing it in my head, but such talent, such kindness from the community. Like, I'm not sure if the parents are getting paid. I'm assuming not. I'm assuming it's a parent volunteer kind of organization. And Sahar spoke about the props. Literally mind blown. Like, stuff looks so good. The costumes, incredible. And people were hard at work. We didn't necessarily get to show them because they weren't in the studio space. They were in like the other room spaces. However, they were so hard at work and putting together those costumes, putting together those props and all the other things, and trying to figure things out while the kids are rehearsing so that everything can go smoothly when it comes time for them to go into the theater, because they get to perform in a theater, which is so fun and exciting and a great experience for youngsters and actually people of all ages. I would love to perform in a theater, so if anyone's looking to hire an actor, hit me up. But my point is, a great program, a great experience, great life skills for kids, and honestly a great way to connect with the community. So if you're in Lloydminster, think about the arts. Maybe it's an interest to you. They now have adult classes, so like take advantage of that. And
for real.
Or if you have kids that even like there were some young kids there. Like even if you want to start them out with there, I think it's so important to introduce them to things like that, because it's not only good for socialization, but just to develop their own creativity.
Yeah.
Potentially, bless you.
Yes, I was about to sneeze. I apologize. I tried to keep quiet. Yeah, so absolutely amazing. We are mind blown. I'm going to make us listen to the Cinderella soundtrack on the ride home. So they're in for a treat. So check it out, guys.